It seems odd that a company that clearly needs to increase sales volume because it took Alfa Romeo so long to enter one of the most popular parts of the premium market. The Italian brand's first compact crossover, the Tonale, is almost here, set to reach US buyers early next year. Don't want to wait until then to tell what it's like, having ridden the European version, which launches in the home market later this year. The Tonale sits on the same Stellantis small wide LWB platform that underpins the Jeep Compass. Getting an early preview meant experiencing it with a powertrain that almost certainly won't be coming to America. While the US-bound version of the Tonale will feature a 256 horsepower turbocharged 2.0-liter 4-cylinder, 9-speed automatic and standard all-wheel drive, Europe gets a skinnier 130 or 160 horsepower turbocharged 1.5-liter inline. The 4 is paired with a 20 horsepower electric motor that, even in its most powerful form, takes 8.8 seconds to reach 62 miles per hour. It also sends torque exclusively through the front wheels via a 7-speed dual-clutch gearbox. Both markets will also eventually get a 272 horsepower plug-in hybrid combining a 180 horsepower turbocharged 1.3-liter engine with a 121 horsepower electric motor driving the rear axle. But it's the 1.5-liter front drive we experienced in Italy, and can ensure that US buyers don't have to feel bad about being turned down. The engine runs on the Miller cycle and has a variable geometry turbocharger for increased economy, but still feels like a utility-class powerplant with loud noise when pushed and limited enthusiasm for top reverend range. The cars they drive also have inconsistent throttle response and often hesitate when switching from electric power to combustion. The dual-clutch gearbox lacks intelligence in the drive and tends to thump when shifting under the larger accelerator input. The good news from a US perspective is that the rest of the car is proving to be much better, giving a lot of hope for the quality that will cross the Atlantic. Design is a definite highlight even by Alfa's high fashion-proof standards. While many automakers have struggled to deliver the elegant lines of a compact crossover's tiny dimensions, the Tonale looks elegant and proportioned. The overall length of 178.3 inches is only slightly longer than that of the Audi Q3 and BMW X1, and its basic shape is more like a hatchback than a box SUV. The 3-element headlights, wraparound rear glass, and Alfa's traditional dial wheel all look great. The Tonale cabin is a step beyond the plastic interiors of the Stevio and Giulia too. The trim feels higher quality, with softer material in the most frequently touched areas and much more proof of ergonomics thinking. The Tonale gets digital instruments as standard, as well as a sharply rendered 10.3-inch infotainment touchscreen that runs Alfa's new user interface, which works cleanly and intuitively. The system also supports wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay and Alexa-based voice commands that can be as extensive as playing a 70s disco or my navigation to a great pizzeria. Having USB-A and USB-C ports on the front and back is a welcome thing. Conventional switchgear includes physical buttons for climate control, a definite plus, as well as a rotary controller for driving modes. Also love the large metal shift paddles included with the luxurious Veloce trim. The subjective build quality is also very high, with non-existent creaks and rattles. Cabin space is good up front, with plenty of adjustment to driving position, but expected to be tighter at the rear. The Tonale's fashionable falling roofline limits rear seat headroom, and the equally trendy rising beltline makes it feel a little dreary back there. But that's enough for the standard of this not-so-broad segment. Refinements have also impressed, with the Tonale's cabin remaining silent even at the Autostrada's fast cruising speed. Alfa has opted for a quick steering ratio to provide sharp response, with electrically assisted 13.6, 1-rack gears providing a sharp front end that feels more like a hot hatch than a compact SUV. The Tonale also withstands understeer very well, with Pirelli P0 tires finding great tack and biting hard in tighter corners. But the electrically assisted steering seems to filter out nearly all low-level feedback, and while the tires have plenty of grip, there's little ability to adjust the Tonale's cornering line by varying the throttle input.